Hello everybody, and welcome to my presentation for MS 543 Advanced Programming, University of Advanced Technology. This is project number 2. In this project, I basically needed to revise my first project and write an output of each menu item to a file, include error checking on all user input, um, and add 3 classes to your program, a base class and 2 derived classes, each with unique attributes and methods, and add one of the following: list, dictionary, or tuple. Okay, so here is what I did. I basically took the program, the translation program that I had, and I rearranged it and made some text. I used a tuple, and I wrote to a file. So this is how we do it. Took me about 2 hours to make this. We're using text blob to do that. So right off the bat, first thing I do is I make a file. We write a file called translated text.txt, and we set it to write. It's actually being stored in my C drive under users in my name, and I'll show you that in a little while. So the 3 classes here. Well, the first class is a standalone class. It's a menu class that I use to make the menu. And there's something unique in this class, in the fact that I use a tuple. So I use a tuple to basically print out what options the user will have. So they can do French, Spanish, Dutch, German, or quit. So you can see that's a tuple. The reason why I use a tuple is because, well, a tuple is read-only. Basically, it's just going to print it out and it will never change, and that's what I wanted. So a tuple worked in this instance. And what I do is, when I go to print out the choices, I basically use a for loop, for loop in here, and I basically just print out the length of the menu choices. And then we get a translated text blob. We ask for the text to be translated, and then we get a choice. And we say if this choice happens, then we go to this class. If another choice is chosen, then we go to this class, the Spanish class, German class, and so on. So I have a class called the translation class. This is translation in French. I use this as the base class. And basically what it does is it is going to translate whatever text that you input in English to French, and then it is going to save that to a file. To do that, we use translate.txt. That is basically your variable. And then we translate it from English to French, which is what this line of text says right here. And then we print it out, and then we basically take translated.txt and turn it into a string. So I make a variable, and then I make translate text into a string so we can write it to a file. And that's how that works. First child class is translated to Spanish. It is basically a instance of French, except we're going to translate it to Spanish. I have another child class that translates it to Dutch, and another one that translates it to German. And as you can see, it is inheriting everything from translate French. To be honest with you, what does that mean? Nothing. I mean, the way I had to write this, unfortunately, I had to use the guidelines of what I need to do in class, the assignment. But did I really need to do it this way? No. But I did it this way because that's what the requirements were. And well, if you're on a job, sometimes you have to do things that meet requirements instead of, the latest and greatest code. So anyway, yeah, it all works. And then all I do in the end is I call the menu program, I instantiate an instance of the menu program, and then from that instance I call language translator, and that kicks it all off, and everything is handled after that. So let's see it in action. Okay, language translator. This program will translate English into text or another language. Here's the tuple right here. Well, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. That's all a tuple. Okay, and it gets printed out. So we're going to say, what do we want to type our text in? Let's just say, hello, my name is Jeff. And we'll say French this time. Takes a moment, and it says, you chose French. Your translated text is bonjour. My name is Jeff, whatever. I don't speak French very well, so it translated it. So let's do another one here. Let's translate some Spanish. Hello, my name is Chris. And we'll translate that to Spanish. And it translates it. Hola, my number is Chris. That is Spanish. Translate to Spanish. So let's do Dutch. Hello, my name is Fred. Oh, look at that! It caught in there. See, there's my error, exception handling right here. So what it did is I accidentally typed in "Hello, my name is Fred" when it asked me what language to translate to, and it says "Please try again." So it basically will kick you back out and then ask you again. So let's do Dutch. Let's say, oh. Again, another error. So let's type the name in, or let's type what we want to do. Hello, my name is Fred. See, I got it backwards. That's why it errored out. So we'll translate it to Dutch. There you go. It did. It translated to Dutch right here. Okay, so last one is, hello, my name is Mike. And we're going to translate to German. There you go. It translated it to German. Okay. So let's do something else. So let's say we wanted to we actually typed in some numbers. So yeah, so please try again. So as you can see, the error handling is working in it. It's not a try or catch statement, but you can use an if statement to do exception handling, and that's what I did with this one. Now we want to get out of the program, so we will select 5 to quit, and it quits. Okay, so let's do this. Let's go to the operating system. Now we'll go to users. Now this should have made a text file called translate text, and there it is. Now if you open translate text, it saved every single one. Bonjour, hola, hello. Jeff, Chris, Fred, and Mike are all stored in this translated text. So it's working great. That's it for this presentation. Really, this assignment didn't say I had to use anything other than just basically making this into classes. So I did that. It didn't say anything about using another library or anything like that. I read it thoroughly and it didn't say anything like that. So I'm keeping it that way. My next one, I am going to include some text-to-speech, and I'm also going to include, I'm going to try to use a graphical user interface, and I'm sorry about this, guys, but my bird's been acting up a little bit here. So that's what you were hearing. But anyway, yeah, next I'm probably going to use like some kind of graphical user interface, or I'm going to use text-to-speech. Eventually I'll use both. But for now, this is what I have, and I think it is good enough for the grade. Alright guys, thank you very much. Have a nice day.